Victor Hugo is often attributed with the quote that it is impossible to resist the idea whose time has come. Unfortunately, this statement does not apply to Nikola Tesla, because all of his ideas far surpassed their time. The famous inventor devised devices that seemed like witchcraft or simply fantasies to ordinary men and women of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Although he was ahead of his time, Tesla was not a magician. He persevered and did everything possible for the further development of our civilization. Many believe that if Tesla had not been censored, today we would be living in a utopian society powered by free unlimited energy. But there are still many mysteries surrounding his life and death. Perhaps the most intriguing of these lies in those of his inventions that never saw the light of day in full. So, which projects of Nikola Tesla were subjected to harsh censorship and completely hidden from the public? For what developments of the genius could one simply be killed? This is what today's video is about. One very interesting machine that Tesla worked on was a kind of steam generator. He applied for and obtained a patent for it. Its purpose was to generate electricity and create resonance at various frequencies. Tesla decided to tune the generator to the frequency of the building where his laboratory was located in New York. The resulting event even amazed Tesla himself. The small generator shook the entire building, almost causing it to collapse. People in the area immediately called the police and ambulances. Fearing an earthquake, Tesla smashed the generator with a hammer, preventing it from shattering the building into pieces. Tesla smashed the generator with a hammer, preventing it from tearing the building to pieces. He ordered his employees not to speak about the incident. Imagine the potential of a machine that could be tuned to any frequency. This sparked the idea of a geodynamic generator in Tesla, which would have the same effect. He believed that with the right tuning, it could prevent earthquakes, and with improper tuning, accidentally or intentionally, cause an earthquake. Now let's remember the incredibly anomalous earthquake in Turkey this year. Could globalists have perfected Tesla's technology and secretly applied it? Write your opinion in the comments. And let's move on. Imagine a tectonic weapon that could win many wars by causing earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and other seismic events in specific locations. Possession of such a weapon would help dominate any nation on the planet. Tesla made sure that this machine never materialized. But there are speculations that the United States still possesses a device similar to Tesla's generator and may use it to induce earthquakes in certain points on the planet. The invention is as powerful as it is catastrophic. So it's not surprising that Tesla smashed its prototype with a hammer and halted its development. On July 11, 1934, the inventor first described the new weapon in the New York Sun and New York Times newspapers as how it could be used against ground troops or for anti-aircraft defense purposes. The press called this weapon the Death Ray. Tesla announced to the world the amazing new invention of the particle beam projector, which Tesla intended to use as a tool for national defense. Tesla announced to the world an amazing new invention, a particle beam emitter which Tesla intended to use as a tool for national defense, naming his system the Teleforce. He claimed that with this machine, the USA could deliver destruction to invading armies and shoot down squadrons of approaching planes at a distance of 200 miles or 321 kilometers. While the basic concept of beam weaponry was first disclosed in 1934, on Tesla's 78th birthday, specific details about the actual device were hard to come by. 10 years before his death, in July 1934, Nikola Tesla first described the new superweapon as primarily defensive, which would put an end to all wars forever. Newspapers across the country dubbed it the Death Ray. The idea behind this device was to accelerate a mercury isotope to a speed 43 times faster than the speed of sound in a vacuum chamber under pressure using electromagnetic repulsion, and then shoot the resulting beam toward the target. Tesla was a humanist and an optimist. So the particle beam projector was intended for defense purposes only. A weapon that would put an end to wars. Isn't that the dream of all humanity? In his own words, the device projects particles that can be relatively large or microscopic in size, allowing for the transmission of energy at a distance 3 billion times greater. Tesla's invention even made the front page of the New York Times. The newspaper reported that at 78 years old, Tesla was creating a new death ray. And Tesla himself stated that his final invention would make warriors on Earth impossible. The newspaper said that at the age of 78, Tesla was creating a new death ray. And Tesla himself said that his latest invention would make warriors on Earth impossible. This death ray, as he claimed, would surround every country like an invisible Great Wall of China, only 1,000,000 times more impenetrable. At the end of the year, Tesla unsuccessfully tried to obtain funding from J.P. Morgan's son, Jack Morgan. He wrote him a letter describing the power of the defensive weapon. Tesla proposed to hand over the death ray or Teleforce to the League of Nations as a means of preventing any future wars. But the U.S. government did everything possible to deny Tesla, as they wanted to be the only country with super weapons and wanted to prevent it from falling into the hands of any other state. In subsequent years, Tesla claimed that there were many attempts to steal his invention. He mentioned that his office was infiltrated and many of his documents were carefully studied. But the thieves or spies always left empty-handed, leading many to believe that Tesla's death ray was nothing more than a concept, just an idea in Tesla's mind. That is, until the press conference of Nikola Tesla, where he revealed more about the issue when asked about his weapon. He said that the defensive weapon was still in the prototype stage and needed some more time before presenting a working model. Most likely, Tesla understood what would happen if the real prototype fell into the wrong hands. So he carefully guarded and concealed a large portion of the drawings and developments. Most likely, Tesla understood what would happen if the real prototype fell into the wrong hands. So he protected and carefully hid a huge portion of the drawings and developments. Here is what Tesla himself wrote in his diaries after these experiments. I planned to build an aircraft that could fly not only in the air. During the flight, the compression of the ether should weaken with the help of a generator installed in the aircraft. But Tesla had to abandon his plans to create the aircraft. The only reason these anti-gravity ships did not become a reality was because Tesla planned to power them using his network of electric towers, which were used for wireless transmission of electricity. Unfortunately, world governments and giant corporations could not allow the emergence of a tower network transmitting completely free wireless energy worldwide. After all, it would have destroyed billions of dollars in profit for companies operating on fossil fuels. Therefore, in 1917, the United States demolished Tesla's tower, which no one ever rebuilt, making it impossible to build his flying transport vehicles. By the way, an interesting fact. Similar flying ships were shown in the old youth series of the 1990s. Charade. There, in an alternative branch of history, people did implement technologies similar to those proposed by Tesla. And in fact, ships were shown that moved through the air using magnetic levitation and were recharged from special towers. Tesla was a visionary. He truly envisioned a better world for humanity. He saw it as a world where the weak would not be exploited by the strong, where the kind would not be oppressed by the wicked, where the products of intellect, science, and art would serve society for the improvement and embellishment of life, rather than individuals for the pursuit of wealth. He saw it as a world where the weak would not be exploited by the strong, and the kind would not be oppressed by the evil. A world where the poor would not be humiliated by the rich, where the products of intellect, science, and art would serve society to improve and beautify life, rather than individuals to achieve wealth. Dear friends, be sure to write your opinion on the topic in the comments. Also, give a thumbs up if the video material made you think. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel itself and, most importantly, to our Telegram, because there is much more information there that we can no longer post on YouTube for understandable reasons. Goodbye to all. Ein